course, they only lost by mere rounds. So that wasn't a good showing whatsoever for Safe as the duelist being the space maker. But now we see it. Now he's the Raze, now he has the utility that's necessary. I want to see how he's practiced this. I want to see what the agent looks like in his hand on this map and how that might change the way that we see Guild on Split specifically.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I don't think I've ever casted Safe in Valorant not playing Jet. So this is going to be a real weird experience to see what he's able to bring. But, you know, he has got the individual skill, the prowess to be able to pull it off. And finally, we're going to get to see maybe an answer to Durka's Raze, which is just absolutely incredible on Bind. Excited to see if he can keep that level up. Right now, though, Guild into the pistol. It's a slow spread out default. It had some presence towards B early, stand up a toxic screen out towards that B site. Leaving their options open, but it's the mid play that is the first point of contest, and Durka will spot that out. He's been forced back into the mailroom. He'll double up with his teammates in towards Heaven.
On almost every single map you see Guild on, they love a bit of mid-control, knowing full well that that is the power position for a lot of these maps, and if you don't contend it, doesn't give you the opportunity to make a push and prod play onto either side should you wish to. And that's exactly what Guild's doing right now. It's just a pistol round, so it's an opportunity for them to play for the plant, play for the picks. But FNATIC hasn't fallen for it at all, and I said before, especially when we were talking in the previous map, that this is a 50-50 map for both of these teams, so it'll be interesting to see the kind of solutions and strengths we'll see coming out of them, especially now that they've been able to fortify their split map.
30 seconds left.
Well, it's a charge out A from Guild. Magnum will start the killing. Finally, someone has gone down. It's Magnum Shorty that's got the first. I love the wrist play. A little bit more aggressive from Safe, pushing in towards defender spawn. Trex is starting to wrap around the backside, but gets caught in a fight between two players, and he is spread too thin. Mystic will take him out, and now Guild have a disadvantage, but the spike is down. Coldament has given away his aggressive stance again, and he will fall. And just like that, FNATIC have every single kill. They only lose one player, and FNATIC will take the first round of play.
Now, it's not a boaster, pistol, crazy ghost, headshot,
No.
you know, triple kill, but it is a round that we have seen gain momentum for FNATIC in previous maps. Now, whether or not this does, you know, allow for them to sort of cascade that kind of momentum and that mentality, yet to be seen, but it's always very important, I feel, when players on the team like Mystic, like Magnum, for example, who have otherwise had trickier games, especially from a KD perspective, because they are the support players, they are the utility-heavy players, to also have good kill opportunities as well, because that boosts the confidence for them to peak upon engagements, to swing with teammates, etc. And mentality plays a lot into FPS games.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's one of the most underrated and probably one of the most unaware attributes of gameplay, right? From the viewers and even players themselves. So certainly something to keep an eye on here. Guild going to be charging away into a day. They have gone for a heavy investment into this force spot. Second round force on Spectres can often be very solid. You can see where that plant is giving them some extra cash to play with. So looking very good right now, Guild, in terms of the buy. And some initial control towards the ramps as well. And they've actually decided to back away, and that's made it out a big rotation from FNATIC. Look how many players made their way over here.
I believe it's just Mystic over towards Heaven.
Yeah.
They know, though. They know. They're rotating. Brave over as well. Brave's right into this as well. And that's why you'll see Mystic move into a deeper position over towards B as they sprint their way over to Garage. I don't think it'll be an empty Garage as they're expecting. I think as they come bursting on in, there's been many weapons are looking for them over towards B. They've given too much time, and we've criticized Guild for doing this before. If you're going to make a decision, get there and get there quickly, because otherwise you get this. And all of FNATIC are there waiting.
Yeah, you're coming through one choke point into a FNATIC that is very ready to dispel your attack. Boaster's got the first, and it's just slowed entirely. Look at this, 15 seconds, fish in a barrel at the moment. Guild, will they be fighting fish? Well, not likely. Durka and Mystic fry them up, and now it's just Trex left alone. He'll try his best, but it is 2-0 for FNATIC, and Guild really had a bit of spice about them in that round, I think, Jess, up until, the lack of decisiveness really in that play.
I wonder whether or not it plays into Guild's head sometimes that they have the inferior weaponry, or that they don't have the ideal scenario that they want in the early to mid round. I don't know what it is for them, because we've seen them play off of each other for retakes in map number 1 really well. Haven was such an incredible showing to show us that they are fine with letting teams go and plant and for them to play retake. Then conversely, when they get on attack, it's almost like they play the same strategy. But unfortunately, you're on attack. You're the one that has to plant. You can't wait that out, and time's always against them.
Durka. Oh my, okay. Russ on the elevated position. It's an off angle for Durka, who is worried about other positions and ends up losing his head. So, killed a good start into the upgraded pistol round. Can Trex find another? They seem to be aware of this possibility of his position up the ramp, so might be a little difficult for him to work that as they're going back through the sewers as they want to go towards A. Boast is just jump spotting. Safe play here from FNATIC. But can they deal with the onslaught of players that's about to come in towards them? Magnum has nothing better than a ghost right now, so he's in a bad position now as he drops into the open. Easy shot for Save. Flash going out for Boaster, trying to pull this round back. He's able to find one and comes back through the nebula, unable to follow up, and he's run out of ammo. Trying to get away. Brave comes in and helps him out. And now Brave diving into the smoke himself. Confirms it's clear. And now FNATIC have to deal with a 3v3 retake scenario. Spikes down.
Some good shots being hit here from Safe. He had some blast packs to work with, and in fact, he still has them to work with should he want to. Maneuver himself around the back of A's site. All of this running from Mystic lets Coldament to know, and while Trigger Discipline started well, but Brave's able to trade, and this numbers advantage back and forth. This is what Guild likes to do, and FNATIC knows best. Missing the shots that I was just complimenting him for. And the slow orb, they're gonna run out of time. The cover's good, but the grab wall's better.
The gravity wall. They didn't even get it over half.
It's done.
It's not even over half of the time. It's gone. Coldamenta, he's won the round. The gravity wall sucks them right off. And with that, their chances for the round win. Guild, they find an unlikely first.
Whew. Okay, the last agent, not one of the last agents you want to be up against in a post plant where the seconds are dying is an Astra with a star.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right next to you.
One of the worst you could have.
Just honestly one of the worst. And any other player alive right then, that slow orb absolutely wins the round. Let us not forget, Brave's utilization of Sage and the utility usage has been fabulous. He definitely poises himself to look like very much a battle Sage, and even a little bit of a pocket Sage for Boaster over towards the B side as well. So it's been a good showing from him, but we'll have to see a little bit more because unfortunately he's been given a lot of advantages here to his teammates and they haven't been able to be acted upon appropriately.
They're starting to gather it. They're about to charge their way down in close position. Being spotted, Mystic gets cleared, hard cleared by Safe, who just charges forward on his lonesome. He's got into the back of the site. His teammates will now start to join him as he confirms its clearance. Durka, a rapid raise has been incredible in this agent in this series, but needs to start delivering impact here. Coldamenta takes down Brave. 2 kills now in Guild's favor. They're yet to put the spike down though, and that could be a big problem here. Durka with 1. Magnum and Boaster in a position where Boaster can wrap around the back, but Safe is so disciplined. He's ready for it, and Boaster gets aggressive into his crossout, and now puts Magnum into the 1 versus 2, and he's read the flank. He knows there's a player coming around the backside, and Trex, a nasty surprise as Magnum looks him right down the barrel. It's just 1 player left. It's Russ into the clutch. Quiet performance on Bind. Will he get off to a lightning start here? And he won't. Magnum won a clutch for FNATIC. 4 kills. He looks down below, and he will claim all 4 to his good. It's now FNATIC read 3-1.
We said it before, Dinko, having that confidence boost for some of the support plays, even though kills aren't the necessity of their role, is always going to boost and elevate the foundation, the bottom part of a team. It raises their ceiling, it raises their floor, and all of a sudden the entirety of the team can perform at a high level. And when everyone's popping off, it can be such a force to be reckoned with. FNATIC being one of those teams, and you quietly put a bit more of a quieter one here for Guild, but we've seen rounds where get 1 kill, pick up a weapon, be able to cascade it and snowball it into more, and it's an opportunity for Guild to show us that just like we saw FNATIC with the Bulldogs, with the Guardians, Brave with the Guardian, the Bulldog in the hands of Durka, that they themselves are able to come back on rounds where their economics are not looking too strong. I'd like to see that from Guild. I think that would be a really good mental boost for them as well.
Well, Viper's pit pop for FNATIC. You know, you have to remember, we're just out of a FNATIC timeout. So couple of ideas being shared in this one. FNATIC much more passive, obviously reading the economy. You can see it on the scoreboard of what cash they had coming into this, not predicting the buy that might come forth. So FNATIC using some of the range. Once you push a little bit more aggressive on A, you can sort of lean off a little bit elsewhere. That's exactly what FNATIC are doing right now, allowing Guild into the mid control.
Not a lot of control has been garnered here by Guild, as is expected. They're trying to bait them into close-range engagements, which is what you want with the weaponry they have. Any kind of close-range engagement not only guarantees that they would be likely to take that 50-50, but they'd also be able to pick up a weapon in response there. Boaster's read this well. He might not be aware of someone tucking right underneath him. No, he's not safe. He played that right up against the corners, and that was perfect. And the Cypher ult will come out as well, confirming a little bit more than they were asked for.
Yeah, Guild have a good advantage here with some of the weaker guns. Luckily, Brave pulls that one back, but the paint shells, it hunts down Durka. Luckily, Magnum's position unchecked. He's still a nuisance right now. 7 seconds. Spike needs to cross to the start right now, and Brave's going to cross into the open. 3 for him, and FNATIC will close it out. 4-1 on the board for FNATIC.
Good there from Guild, though. They really made that a competitive round, even considering, you know, as I said, get that first kill, safe, pick up the weapon, see what kind of snowballing effect you can have from there. And a bit unlucky that they weren't able to get a little bit more for their money there, or rather not even for their money, for FNATIC's money. And turn that into a thrifty, not to be. And now is an opportunity for them to poke and prod to the fullest extent. Leo, what a banging map 1. Map 2, not too bad. And then coming into this map, hasn't really found his footing. We need the consistency here from Guild.
The drop back from Guild. They initially had everybody positioned towards B, but are now starting to lean themselves back into the lit mid control. That's been given to them by FNATIC. And Guild, problem is now to try and break through this wall. Durka, his position is still good to deal with him if they come up through mailroom to try and challenge down heaven. But it's not going to be the case. Instead, Guild now leaning towards A. Spike positioned outside of A long. You have a couple of players now trying to come up through ropes, and they can try and split this A site from 2 sides. They can even leave Leo behind in towards mid. He can cut off that rotation.
Nice.
So looking good right now for this attack forward for Guild.
That is so unlucky. If he had pulled out his knives at that point, he could have stopped safe, but to his own demise, doesn't have the utility. And Boaster, he knew what he wanted to achieve in that moment, but wasn't able to get it. And Brave says, you know what? Get on up, buddy. I'll give you a second chance here. I'll give you a second shot. And this is one of these rounds that will really tell the tale as to what it's going to be for both of these teams on this first half. Can Guild hold it together in a post-plan situation? And can FNATIC with their retakes really surprise?
Well, here goes Durka. His showstopper puts an end to 1. That's Russ, the victim of it. And now Trex inside of the site. Good kill. Now follows up onto Mystic. This is good. And now Trex just swings into the site. FNATIC, they've got it done. Oh, it's unfortunate. It is truly unfortunate for Guild as they pull it through. That had to be around for Guild, but FNATIC steal it away, Jess.
This is probably the advantage of FNATIC having Boaster on the KO, for example, is because once that Nebula had popped and the smoke was over them, all you could do was spray wildly throughout it. And the diameter of the smoke, obviously you're not sure which side of the spike that they're on diffusing. There's a lot of confusion throughout all of it. You're running out of ammunition. A singular, you know, snake bite, for example, from Leo, or if they had a grenade from the side, or if they had a KO, for example, there's all these counters you could have employed and you didn't have them. And it's just utility lacking there that really let them down.
Yeah, for Guild, I mean, these rounds are going to just be so ridiculously frustrating.
That would have frustrated me.
Yeah, it's really going to test their mental fortitude, right, Jess? I mean, in this situation, you realize, you know, you've just lost your golden ticket to the 2-0, and this is how this map's starting. If you get wrecked by a judge now, well, just book a session with a shrink, I think.
We'll have to forward them through some therapeutical help after this. There we go. That's a nice start. That's not so good, but the trade is there. And this is the kind of team play and the numbers evening that we really need from Guild, because they have that man advantage. And if they hadn't had that player there, that might not have occurred. And the Bulldog in hand. Not sure why he doesn't pass it to Durka. That might have been a possible retake, very easily had. Won't be the case as the Guardian in hand of Russ. He might even be able to pop on over and get himself another weapon. I'm not sure what Magnum and Boaster had at that time, but an opportunity now that they're going all the way across the other side of the map to save, for them to really talk about the next round tactics. They will have walked away with this one. Gives them 2 rounds. 3 at the bare minimum on this map. I mean, Dinko, at this point, I'll be happy with 3 on the side of Guild.
Yeah, very much so. If you have to remember back to the first round they picked up as well, was Coldamenta just about getting the gravity wall defused, right? And that is a little unfortunate for Guild, but now they've picked up another, and this is it. This is the time to try and recover this half. You've got an opportunity. You've come close in a lot of these rounds as well. So FNATIC, you can see how close these rounds have been, because their economy, after 1 round loss, after a few in a row, is now down to, forced into Bulldog purchases, a couple people on really low weapons. Guild have a great chance now, just breaking down this economy for FNATIC further and furthering their chances of picking up rounds.
Speaking of, though, of the past 24 rounds on attack that Guild has played on Split, they've only won 6. They've only won a quarter of them. So the attacking side for them is historically poor. So that's something that they clearly haven't fixed thus far, but is not the end of the world, because their wins do come from their defensive side, so we'll see.
Oh, safe. Getting caught, paint shells go out, and that's effective in taking down Mystic. He's going to throw the boombot in as well. Seeing if that can connect onto Safe, and ooh, gets rid of it. Durka, will he check the right corner? It looks like Safe might just get an opportunity to push forward. He starts to peek. He has got his teammates there alongside of him as well. Under a minute left. Guild just heavy leaning towards A right now. Bit of a gap in the toxic screen there for Durka to play with. He can gather some info off of this and actually gets caught. Oh, the Nebulas work against him. The star is taken away, and that creates just a window of opportunity for Safe to move in, and he plays it to perfection with Coldamenta. And now they move forward. It's Magnum ready. They try and walk through the toxic screen, but good luck doing that. Viper's pit being popped out as well. 30 seconds left in this clock, and Guild, you do not want to have to walk through a Viper's pit. So they're backing off. They're leaving that and wrapping around, but they might just wrap back into Boaster, who's on the flank around the backside. Safe is taking down Brave, but just keep eyes on Boaster. If he had a better weapon here, Jess, I would feel much better about this, but it's a good old little classic. He's got to go for the headshot.
Boaster, please.
And even that, it's not enough.
God, the trigger discipline was great. The shots, not so much. There's the weapon that you were begging for him to have. This is very possible in a 2v2 situation. There is a lot of possibility. Magnum knows corners better than anyone else. He slight checks, but not full. Russ will shut him down. Boaster in a 1v2 situation. An impossibility, surely.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, he just flashed. He's found one already. He goes for the follow-up, but Russ will take him out. Gotta feel like Boaster's just gonna be kicking himself. The one time he gets into a perfect position on the flank, he has a classic, Jess. If he just has even a ghost there, he probably wins that. Oh, just unfortunate.
It's one of those moments as well. The trigger discipline, you love to see it. Players like that who are cool, calm, collected under that kind of pressure. And then you just wish that you could hand him any weapon other than the one that he is holding so that he can successfully take that one. We'll see the Bulldog back in the hands of FNATIC. We're going to keep highlighting it, because if you missed what Durka was able to do on Bind with it, well, you missed an absolute pleasure. And that camera won't get much use just as of yet. We'll be able to get some intel later on, as mid contention seemingly is something that Guild consistently wants to prod and poke at. They don't get a lot of success with it, because FNATIC knows how important that position is. But it's nice to see Safe using a bit of the Raze utility. It's not always been super successful, but he has been using the blast packs to get quick entry into sides.
Spike's leaving. It's going back over to A. Currently already you've got Trex up there who has confirmed no aggression from the defense, so Guild can arrive here outside of A long, feeling quite comfortable. They are going to leave Coldamenta on that late lurk on the other side of the map. Oh, suppressing. Knife destroyed, so not a lot of info picked up there, other than there is presence outside A long. 40 seconds. Guild eventually will have to go. They have to be explosive through this choke point in Magnum. Oh, Snakebite is going to try and cause a few problems. He's slowed and actually taken away one of the choke points. They can't go through that long position. Now they're forced into the ramp and they have to charge through. Flash is going in. Durka gets inside of the cage, finally taken down by Russ. And Russ is on the ropes. He's up with his teammates. They're trying to get forward here. They're trying to go to B. There's still 2 plays here for FNATIC. This might just be a massacre. Cosmic divides up, trying to give them a safe path in, but Brave goes on the other side of it, and to his demise, Sif is just popping off. He's fighting everybody. And on the other side of the map, Poster can't do anything about it, and he is taken down by Trex. A flawless round out of nowhere for Guild, and they had to move all the way across the map in the dying embers of that round.
Such a good effort there from FNATIC as well. And you were right, they have players are waiting there. We know that FNATIC likes to spread until the last moments of a round. And if they have to retake, they have to. And that was one of those things. The moment that the Cosmic Divide started to come up, I said to myself, oh no, he's left it a little bit too late. He's seen them, but he hasn't moved in past the Cosmic Divide just yet. It will bounce his bullets, and all of a sudden, it was a little bit too little too late, and this is how Guild will slowly poke at the economy of FNATIC. You said it right before. This is an opportunity now for them to really double down on a Durka wants a gun, and with the dog out, it means that they are a lot closer to home than they wanted. With these close range engagements, we've spoken about it before, with less than ideal weaponry, you want to try and get those close range engagements because you can take them a little bit more freely. You have a little bit more accuracy in the close range. And you can also pick up the weapon in instant succession should you be able to get the kill. So these players playing in close range, like you see Mystic now, is going to be really important. Yep.
Well, the Bucky is found one. And will get taken down quite quickly after by Trex, and FNATIC are trying their best with the weaker weapons. Durka will get away with another. The number's still even for the time being, but you have to still favor Guild's better weapons. Problem is, though, you've still got to deal with Brave, and Bo's just trying to pull that attention away to try and set his teammate up for the best possible chance. But Guild are just taking all these kills, and good luck with the judge at that range. It goes down. 5-5. Guild, what a recovery here, Jess. I mean, we were starting to get to a point where we're looking at FNATIC just walking away with this, but Guild have got back into this attacking side and have tied up the scoreline to win this round. They're going to close the half ahead.
That goes against
Very
the
likely.
grain of what the numbers are telling me. Now, do numbers lie? I know this is a conversation about analysts and colorcasters all around the world. Do the numbers really lie? Sometimes they do. Because recent form, we don't see what happens in scrims. Everything gets a little bit muddled. But of the stats that I have, we have seen Guild historically struggle on their attack exponentially. For them to have 5-5 right now has not been done since, I mean, my stats go back as far as the beginning of challenges, like way even before challenges of last year. So for me right now, knowing that they struggle with their attack and they're able to pick things up, we love a bit of, you know, redemption arc here for Guild on split.
Good peek out. Trex makes the hero play and nearly comes away with a double. That would have broken the spine of FNATIC in this round, I think, if you take down both A defenders in one solo play like that. But it has certainly made an adaptation in the rotation. They've sent a second player over, and that's created space now. Safe confirming the site is clear as Pot the Showstopper. Can send that up toward Heaven, and that is going to be perfect. Pixel perfect with a Showstopper. Brave gets one before going down almost instantaneously. And Safe sends the paint shells up in towards Heaven to hunt down Durka and force him wide into the fight. Mystic taking one. Durka on the follow-up, and now Safe is thrust into the clutch alone. A 1v3 total for him. They've tapped the spike, and that is going to cause a little bit of pressure here for Safe to swing. And that's exactly what Mystic intended. He takes the kill, and FNATIC takes 6 rounds.
There has been a lot of discourse over the past year about whether or not KO is an effective agent and whether or not players are utilizing him effectively. Now, we've seen Scream's version of it. There has been discussion about the fact that we hope we never see that again. Some people know how to use KO to full effectiveness, some don't. What I'm liking from Boaster, for example, is that his reactiveness with his utility is what is making him a really powerful force with KO. Are his knives getting full value? Probably not. But in the mid to late round, we're seeing him utilize a lot of his utility in a way that is able to buy a lot of time and just get that little bit of, you know, chip damage away at the opponent that would otherwise. This here, it's good to get a little bit of intel, but that is intel that they would have had regardless. So it's these mid to late rounds with the knives that I'd love to see Boaster implement into his arsenal. And for now, well, even though his kills might not show it, it's nice that his team can have a KO who's giving some kind of helpfulness throughout the round. A big point of contention with KO for the past year, I think.
Well, Durka's got a bulldog.
Uh-oh.
It's about to be messy over here, Jess, I think.
Not again.
Well, they're sending the Seekers out. They're sending everything they can at him to try and deal with his position. 50 seconds. Now they start to challenge up towards Heaven. Poor Durka. Everything thrown at him right now. Play up in towards Heaven. He's really getting more than this. He's going to actually go around the backside with a showstopper. Stands it into the corner. Ends up taking a kill on Trex. I love that. Not sitting back. Not letting himself just get picked out of the round. And Brave, it's a valiant attempt. It's a nice idea, but it hasn't worked out from the rope. Instead, he's lost his life. So that kill now equalizes the player count back to the 4v4. Problem is here, Jess, 20 seconds left for Guild. They have to go into Mystic.
Yep, we know the Guild loves to leave it to the last second. Spy carry's been killed, so they'll have to pick it back up. The player goes down, and as he does, he gets knocked down. And Durka, that's not what you intended, but that's okay. He gets himself out of dodge, and the Bulldog, we keep saying it bites hard, but it bites hardest in the hands of Durka.
Yeah, they try to get the plant down, but he just swings himself in, and he finds so much impact in this round. Makes the rotation back, able to stop the plant, but also that showstopper kill initially that created the panic and really stopped him from getting through Heaven for the split. Great stuff. And FNATIC at the half, you know, leading the way 7-5. It's a good recovery because we were just mentioning how Guild get themselves into the 5 rounds on the attacking side. Could have exited with a few more, but no denying that was a good half from Guild still. And if they win this pistol, well, this could definitely turn into a Guild map, so you're still up in the air where this one's going.
We had spent a lot of Bind, and I think we could probably safely say here, Dinko, the very first half of Bind, we were pretty convinced that it was going to be, you know, the Durka carry show, which is fine. If your Duelist is popping off, that's all well and good. But if you look on the side of Guild, there's a couple of players also now replicating the Durka Bind carry show. That's something that Guild's going to have to clean up here. Team effort is where they have their best win conditions. So now that they're on their defensive side, which is a side that they very much prefer on this map, it's an opportunity for every player to step up and do their job. And the quick rotate here as they poke and prod towards B and mid means that they want to try and see whether or not A is an opportunity for them. And they'll dodge that dog there. And I wonder whether or not that gives FNATIC the opportunity now to move on to A. Maybe they think as a result of not seeing anyone that it's safe, but Russ, he should know better than that.
Oh. Well, he's just pulled away.
Uh-oh.
And that has just given the chance. Just as you said, Jess, almost picture perfect. But Russ starts to wrap around the backside, and now his position spotted. He spotted out his opponents as well, but no more spotting for him as he no longer has eyes. They've been shot out of his head.
Gruesome picture there, Dinko, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I do that to Ryan sometimes, and he loves it. Let's go around the backside. Pinshell's trying to clear out defender spot. It's worked out, you know, from the grave. It's still Durka who comes on up with a kill, and FNATIC hold the advantage because of that. See if they can get back in here. Trex starting to figure out, oh, they could be playing from back long, and in fact he would be correct in saying that because there are currently 3 players over here. Dealing with that is going to be significantly different, and Trex has found one. He's found the follow-up. Brave and Magnum, they found a couple. Now it's just Magnum left alone. Diffuser off, no time left, and FNATIC will have this round.
That one was a really interesting post plant for me because leaving one person on site with 3 players way off towards spawn. I mean, there's a trouble with going towards sewers in a post plant position like that is you can have a player just like we saw Guild then, and you see it was Trex who could delay them. Just stand there, shoulder peek, time and time again, over and over, and if you get a couple of picks over towards site and then start getting the diffuse off, by the time you even get even close to stopping that diffuse, it will almost already be done. So there's a lot of trust in the fact that that triple stack over towards the sewers entrance is the one that's the winner, because some post plans be a little bit too far.
Right now for Guild, they're kind of hoping they walk into this B setup. FNATIC do put a couple of players there, but there's no signs of commitment yet. FNATIC just walking through the map right now. No resistance seen just yet. Ropes control it now towards top middle. If they go commit into this B side, they're about to walk into a messy double stack on the right side. So don't really want to be doing that dry. I've got a flash and 0 point to pick up some info here as well. And they're about to walk into the smoke. Boaster needs to be careful here. He doesn't get caught. He's going to go into them. He's going to go right into them, and that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. But he has got his teammates trying to come in from heaven, but Safe and Rust, they found kills. And just like that, FNATIC have been slowed. And a chance suddenly for Guild to win on the lower weapons. Magnum starts to recover. It is panic stations right now for FNATIC. But back into the 3v3. Spike will be planted as they can take a breath finally. Looking at a retake chance of 2 shorties. Well, I have seen far more likely scenarios than this.
These shorties will not do the damage that they're looking for, I say, but they move into a direct line of sight for Trex. There's one. Nice trade from Mystic instantaneously. There's Russ. He's going to have to be the one that makes this happen. Flash on out, and he's the one that knows the backside is the likely play. Looks the wrong way, surely, but there we go. The shorty doing way more damage than we expected here. He'll tap the spike. The pings come out, but he's guessed wrong. It means now that Mystic is going to have to go up against it, and ooh, that was a little too close to home. You and I were banking on the fact that the shorties were not the play then, but every now and then we have to admit that we're wrong. We were wrong about the Bulldog. We could be wrong about the Guardian. And we could also be wrong about the shorty.
I mean, realistically, that should never have happened, right? So, I mean, that's credit to Guild getting themselves into the situation to begin with, right? They just had pistols across the board. Mid FNATIC Sweat really broke down that economy, and that could be one of the difference makers.
Always slow on attack, not having good time management skills. They're things in scrims you can fix in a week. So these boys will have no trouble, even if they don't finish in first place here against FNATIC, that if they do have to play that extra match, unlike the first place team, that they'll be able to put up a really, really good fight here, because every single team that we've seen go up against FNATIC, especially in the international sphere, has struggled. And conversely, we've seen FNATIC struggle against certain opponents as well, of which most opponents have struggled with, Crew. But one of those things that both the teams having really good showing. And speaking of Durka, he wanted in, but Safe said, nah, get out. This is my side.
Yeah, that's a big statement to start this round. Fantastic stuff for Guild in that opening. You've got a danger man out of play for FNATIC. You've got to look to someone else now to step up. Who is it going to be? Close situations, it has been Boaster at times. Throws the 0 point out. Confirmed position of 1. Doesn't get the info on the follow-up, but it has forced them back. And now FNATIC have a good bit of control to work with as they move into mailroom. They can play together in towards the Heaven Peak. Currently, Guild have actually got 3 players over A, and that's not the site that FNATIC are about to hit. If Safe goes down here, massive opening, and that's a big kill for Boaster to find.
A trapwire will spot them, and you can see Boaster every time he enters a doorway, always looking up. He's looking for this exact cam. Last time they tried to push B, they looked up for it as well. And this time, again, they spot for it. So really good identification of where all the Cypher utility could be outside of that trapwire. And now as he comes slowly into the Nebula, Trex has no idea that he's standing right next to the enemy, and he'll get slapped down by Magnum, who's having a magnificent game.
Yeah, magnificent Magnum. That's a tongue twister right there. 19 seconds left around the backside is Mystic. He's found 1 and 2. Big double kill, and FNATIC now have just put it down to Leo. You had some forces, Leo. You had some teammates and support network, but now you're on your lonesome. And the chances now dwindle to close to 0. FNATIC looking down the barrel of a 10th round. And it all started with the loss of Durka, with Safe taking him out immediately, but the player I asked to step up was Boaster, and he did. He found the most impactful kill in towards Heaven, onto Safe, brings him down, and creates that opportunity to split down into the B site. That's exactly what they needed to do here. FNATIC now confirm the position of Leo. They won't be able to take him out of play, but 10 rounds locked in, double figures picked up, and now 3 away from confirming their spot at the top of the group.
Good to see Magnum all smiles. That's what we like to see. Good mentality on FNATIC has 9 times out of 10 reaped some kind of good result, even if it means a loss. I think it's really important to remember that whilst this is these players' full-time career, that you should also enjoy your passion. You know, esports is a passion for many, many people. And I remember back during my coaching days, I would have a player who would, you know, do like that little fist bump to themselves when they did something, you know, good. You could see him at LAN and they do this little fist like, yes, you know, under their breath. And I'd yell at them and I'd be like, let's freaking go, you know, like hype it up. You did something great, have some fun with it, enjoy what you're doing. And I think FNATIC's one of those teams that always has fun with what they're doing when they can. And it's a really exciting factor to see, and it really helps with their mentality. So whether that's been a part of it or not, I'm sure it has in some way, shape or form.
FNATIC not really wasting too much time here. Can they get under that wire if they crouch?
Ooh, no.
No, I don't think so. They're gonna try.
Oh.
They get it close. They will.
Why'd you look up, Boaster?
So close. Yeah. Boaster's big head stops it. Limbo champion spot. Durka, he's come through. Trex able to pull back, and information now picked up down into his ropes. 4v4 established as we go under 1 minute left, and there's that spike deciding to go. Still looking towards A, and that rotation coming back from Guild. If it barrels back to B, that would be the right call right now for FNATIC, but it has to be a quick decision. I don't know if they have the information available to make that call to go back yet. Still have time.
You are divided.
Well, now the time is ticking, so their chances now to get back to B are slim to none, so they committed towards A. And this is going to help Guild. There goes the Cosmic Divide up for FNATIC, just trying to allow them to cross into the site. And Boaster, he is playing with the time very closely right now, and they need a kill. Magnum is the player to get Trex, and that's the player from the site gone. And FNATIC now get on towards the site and will have to commit to the plant. Sticking it is Magnum. FNATIC now have the spike down. Leo with 1, but Boaster trades it out immediately. Leo and Safe come in for 2. And it's just Boaster left in the clutch and just one more to find. Boaster's done it, leading by example. 11 rounds for FNATIC. They are one more step closer to taking their flawless run further.
I love that as well, because if you look throughout that round, you can see that Brave, he popped his barrier over towards spawn as well, from heaven towards spawn. Then the Cosmic Divide as well, and I thought to myself, oh, they're really doubling up on the fact that they don't want anyone to be pushing from that A back, and whether or not they could have maybe gone onto site, used that Cosmic Divide over heaven, they really wanted those dual power position. They wanted site and they wanted heaven, and they were willing to put in and invest a lot of their utility to get it. Brave played that position so well. I love to see it. And now we're seeing a little bit of defensive aggression here from the side of Guild. They're staring down the barrel of having to make up 7 rounds just to be able to push themselves into a contention point, not just for this map, but for this series. With first place up for grabs now, Dinko, they have to try something else, because what they've been trying thus far on a side that they are more favored has not been working.
This is do or die now for Guild. Starting to see that top spot fade away from their reality. Boaster is doing everything he can to get his team closer and closer to that. I mean, people doubt this team constantly. FNATIC saying this morning how they are so used to doubt now, they can live with it. And they have done a lot of hard work to keep themselves competitive. And now, if they close this, will have made their way through the groups flawlessly to take that top spot. Boaster, flash going out to the left side, swings into the fight itself. Cold Immense out, completely caught by the flash as Boaster opens up with the first kill of the round.
I love it as well, because Boaster made so much sound on the other side of the map. Everyone was looking towards him, everyone could hear him. And as a result, all they really wanted was a bit of a bait and switch. Look over here, we're going over there. Bit of a magic trick as well, and they're able to get the plan down. They only had to lose Brave, but he'd already popped the wall we spoke about before. It stops any players from being able to come from spawn and wrap around, and they'll even dually double down on it with a snake bite. All of this utility from FNATIC is being flawless, bit after bit, layer after layer. This is going to have to be perfect from Guild.
Yeah, they're going to try to get into the side, but here comes Durka, showstopper to end the show for us. And just Safe left in the 1 versus 4. He realizes this one cannot be completed. This round has reached its conclusion, and it will be 12 for FNATIC. Safe will even go down here. Looks like he will. And he gets caught. Durka with the 4K. That's the kind of round we've seen from him before. He'll continue his performance close to end this map. We see Guild, their purchase is going to come through, but they are going to have some evident weaknesses, Jess. This is looking very good for FNATIC.
Whew. 2 talking points for us moving forward. 1, not the carry Durka show. Magnum stepped up exponentially. We have Mystic has some really good rounds, boasters utility and clutch potential. And whilst Brave, as we've, sort of coined him as being a bit of a battle sage, he actually, even though he's been hitting some nutty shots, has done some great things with his utility, always managing to get the heals when is needed. Conversely, we were wondering what Safe would look like on the Raze on this map, since it is not part of their usual composition. I could say it's looking good. So, a lot of positives for both teams here, but I tell you what, on match point now, the positives are looking overwhelmingly in favor of FNATIC.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the best opportunity. This is the golden ticket. Guild, proactive call to take B main, to assert some dominance, to force FNATIC back. They're taking B main control. What's FNATIC's response? It's the quick mid control. Durka leads the charge on this one. To spotting if anybody's getting aggressive here, they won't be. Instead, now they will begin to think about the play through Mail. Oster gets caught with a flash, now just needs to dive into ropes. Safe has sent out the Showstopper to no avail and has to read that Boaster's push forward. He will. Sends the Showstopper up into the top mid room and Boaster's taken out. Guild have the advantage, but for how long? As FNATIC have moved their way into the B site, Wall will go up to cover off Defender's spawn and funnel the remaining forces of Guild through Heaven. Mystic's on the flank around the back, but Cold Dementor is wise to his tricks. He reads it, but can't deal with it. Mystic's still there with a headshot, and the numbers now back at the 4v4.
Boaster played yet again one of those, look over here, oh no, we're over there.
Yeah.
The distraction methods are so perfect, and Guild are falling for it time and time again. And in a round where they needed it more than most, they're going to flash through the wall, and surely this is the retake that gets them back on track for this match.
Well, FNATIC setup, look at it right now. They're in B main and they're at the back of the site. It's so difficult to get in if you're Guild. You can't deal with this crossfire. It's just so strong. And FNATIC, they are the strongest in the group. They will take themselves the top spot better than for everyone else inside of this group. The flawless run continues, and they have shown that the doubters just need to shut up, Jeff, because this is an incredible performance. Look at the dance of happiness.